Alright, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about the Android manifest file. The Android manifest file lets us define our Android app structure and metadata along with its components. So let's go ahead and open our manifest file. So if you go under app, and it's actually on the root here, so you see Android manifest.xml, double click, and there it is. So as we said, it's an XML file which contains a lot of information about our app. It has our package attribute, as you can see here, and our package attribute is a way of identifying think of it as an ID of our app, that even when we take our app and install on our devices, or we distribute it, publish it in the Google App Store, this is a very unique name. And then you have this application tag here, and you notice inside of this application node, so it's from here and it ends here, there's a lot of information. So you can then allow backup to be true. This means every time your application runs, if you have everything set up, it will back up the information that is in your application. And you can see here also you specify the icon that you want to use for your application. And you notice also it says @drawable/IC launcher. So @drawable, this is how in XML you access folders inside of our project file system. So @drawable, what it's saying here, it just goes ahead and goes to this drawable here, all of this, and goes and fetches the IC launcher images. And I know you see this one drawable with nothing in front of it. That means this is kind of a default one. If none of these are there, it just goes and grabs whatever's inside here. And also, you notice also we can specify the name of our app. We add the label and welcome Android, and that's the name of our app. And you look closely, if you just tap on it and you look, it changes to say @string/app name. That's because it's accessing the name we specify in the string folders. App name here. See? And of course there's the theme. It goes the same way, @style, so it goes to the styles folder, values, and go to style app theme. So if you go to style here, you see the app theme here. It's what's being referenced here. So it goes and grab that style, this style here, which is a default style that Android comes with, and it's here. So our entire app has this style theme here, and you can obviously change this, and we'll talk about that later. And we have this activity node here. Now an activity, it's just the screen that you see. So if you create a screen where you can put buttons, text views, and edit text, and all of those components, that is your activity. So activity, just think of it as your screen. So if you create 2, 3 windows where you can put things, those are your activities. And in Android, once you create an activity, you need to come back here into the manifest file and specify that activity. Now, since we only have one activity, or one window, or one screen that we've been working with so far, Android just goes ahead and creates one for us. And inside of that, you see that you have to specify the name of the class, or the name of the Java file which contains our activity. In this case, you say .main activity. And if you go back here, look at our Java files, you see there's main activity. If we were to go and create another activity here, then we would have to come here after this first activity finishes. We have to go and create another activity and give it a name. So you start with a dot, and let's say we're going to say my activity. And you notice there is no .java, there's nothing, and that That's how you would do it. And it's going to give us red because we didn't create that, but this is how you do it. We'll obviously talk more about that once we start creating our app. And inside here, you can put a name of your activity. This intent filter, all it's happening here is we're telling our Android operating system to say, okay, this main activity, it's going to be our main activity that launches. So when people just open your app, that's the first one that opens up. So they give you the flexibility of choosing which activity you want to be the launcher or the first one to launch when you first open up your app. And the other things that you can do inside your manifest file, you can also require permissions. So permissions in Android are a security measure, meaning if we want to be able to say send an email or show users locations or access the internet, you'll need to add those permissions in the manifest files. You've downloaded Android apps where it just pops something and says this is the permission would you like to allow for this to happen. Or when you first install your app, it gives you a list of permissions that the application needs in order to function properly. And that's exactly what a tag called uses permission does. And you can see here, access check-in properties, access course location, access find location, all of this, access Wi-Fi. We need to specify this if we want to use those in our application. Otherwise, it's not going to work because it's a security measure of the Android operating system. We'll obviously talk more about that in a later time. Now, so you've learned about the Android manifest.xml file, which essentially is just the heart of our Android apps, because it holds together everything, it controls. That's where you put you connect everything inside of your Android app through